World Diabetes Day is an important healthcare event marked on the 14th of November every year to highlight the shooting prevalence of diabetes as it impacts and educate people about the preventative tips of diabetes. This year, 2022 World Diabetes Day theme is Education to Protect Tomorrow under the combined theme of World Diabetes Day 2021 to 2023 campaign, Access to Diabetes Care. This year, 2022 theme is focused on intensive diabetes education for the healthcare professionals and people living with diabetes, which would enable better accessibility to quality educational platforms, educating and encouraging for early diagnosis and adhering better lifestyle and prevention tips to prevent the escalating prevalence of diabetes worldwide. This morning, we warmly welcome Dr. Dwain Archibald and Christine Wattley to speak about this topic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's our pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
So we'll shoot right off. Nurse, as I affectionately know you, can you tell us the function of the Diabetes Association here in St. Kitts?
The function of diabetes, the St. Kitts Diabetes Association is to educate, to inform, to guide, and to, must I say, reassure persons about diabetes, because it's not the killer, because you can live with diabetes.
Is it challenging, though, to do that? Is there, are people misinformed about diabetes? Do you find that when you have to educate them, there are some misconceptions that they have that you have to correct?
They have the misconceptions, so you can't get to educate them. But we have been trying, and we have been making some inroads. The problem with diabetes is denial. You still have persons denying that they have diabetes. They'll say, the doctor say, so here you have blame. Okay? But that is really a hindrance, but we are getting there. Because the St. Kitts Diabetes Association, our main reason for existing, and I hope no one is seeing me but me, is to create a better understanding of for all the persons in the Federation about diabetes, and letting you that you can live with it. And you can prevent it to some point.
I'm type 1. On days, I don't think I have diabetes, and on other days, I have diabetes. I don't understand the thing.
Okay, we can prevent it because he can't catch it from you.
No.
But if he eats right and he exercises, and so eating and exercising, there are some of the things that would really prevent you. Eating right, when I say eat right, you can eat from the 6 food groups moderately.
Okay.
Okay? And so you would not get it if you eat right and if you exercise and you take concern about you being, I want to be healthy. I don't want to have diabetes because I don't want to get kidney failure, and I don't want to get blind, and I don't want my limbs to go, because if one go, chances are the second one is going to go. My one leg gone, the other one gone. Next thing would be my hand.
Nothing.
You're scaring me, by the way, I have to tell you. You said that. You just rattled those things off. And I imagine that's part of an effective campaign to tell us what the eventual impacts could be. Doctor, in relation to those things that the nurse just described, do you often see patients who are concerned about these things because they have diabetes?
Okay. Good morning again. As Nurse Wattley rightly said, the first challenge that we tend to meet is denial. We, the medical physicians, yes, deal with diabetes, but all we can do is tell the patient, hey, you need to take this, hey, you need to take that. Especially with type 1 diabetes, the psychological component of it, we need to add the psychologist to allow persons to accept what diabetes.
So, yeah. Nurse, why do you look at me like that?
I'm a parent, so I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see if I'm causing, and it's because sometimes of the blame that I really can't get out of this thing. I can't get out of being an advocate for persons living with diabetes. I can't, because everybody else gets the blame but me. So but because I know that my parents have diabetes, I am going to put up my hands and I'm going to say, hey, I got to do better.
Yeah. But I've tried, and funny enough to see that it's still caught up in me, because the average person will say, but Hortensia, you do eat healthy. But then I still end up with this thing that it's hereditary.
I particularly feel it for type 1, which requires insulin.
Yes,
All the time.
yes,
And
yes.
I hear every day,
breaks.
Doc, I'm allergic to needles. I'm allergic to needles. That's what people tell me all the time.
I'm not afraid of
but
needles,
you
thank
need the
God.
needles to take the insulin. And I've seen kids suffer psychologically because they refuse to take the needles. So I have to stress on the psychological part of it.
And it's not the needle, it's the fear.
Of the needle,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm mortally afraid of needles, but by the time it gets in, I don't know it's gone.
I'm surprised.
No. You cannot be mortally afraid of needles.
In your line of work,
I
I'm
know.
surprised.
Mortally afraid of injection. You take me to the doctor and I'm going to get... and then it's right there, and I didn't even feel it.
Okay.
Wow. Well, obviously, we're talking about a lot of things, so confession is good for the soul, I understand, nurse.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we continue.
So
with
it's
this-
not the
yes.
blame, really. She got back one at me because
Okay.
human.
Okay.
Fair enough, indeed. What are some of the ways, nurse, that individuals can partner with the Diabetes Association?
Partnering with the association, you have to have the need to be a part of it. You have to have the will to want to get in with it because it has no money. You have to have the passion to come along because it could be thankless. You have to have the calling. Otherwise, you're not going to want to stick around, But trust me, the more persons that we get who see the need, right? The more persons that we get to see the need and volunteer to come and help, we know that as an association, we're going to be doing better. We're going to be able to educate. We're going to be able to inform. We're going to be able to, so we educate, we inform, and we become partners in getting rid of this thing. Yes, you can get rid of it.
Type 2, not type 1. I heard type 1 is...
So the question I ask myself, you might have it, but if you adhere to the information and the advice that you get, you'll be living like you're free from diabetes.
Okay, so you're living with it.
You're
But
living
you are
with it, but you're controlled.
Okay, got that. That's the least you can do.
Yep.
So, Dr. Archibald, how does your patient react, especially when you tell them that they're diabetes? And for those that are about to lose a limb, how do that affect them?
Wow,
And
okay.
you as well.
Okay. In terms of how they react when they first discover that they have diabetes, of course they're in denial because it's lifestyle changing. You have to change how you eat. You have to change when you eat. You have to exercise. Most of my patients, I tell them, hey, you don't have to subscribe to a gym and work out 4 hours a day. It's just a simple 2 hours, 3 hours walk a week. Get some exercise in. Just make sure the body is moving. The sedentary lifestyle speaks to favor diabetes. So we need exercise. That's 1. 2, meal prep. Prep your meals from, let's say, Sunday. I know most of us don't have the time, but attempt to do it.
Yes.
Discipline.
Yeah, most of it, I need discipline. Meal prep. Prep your meals for the rest of the week. Say, I'll have this for lunch, I'll have this for dinner, I'll have this for breakfast. In terms of the dangerous foods, stay away from chocolate, stay away from ice cream, stay away from the usual cultural Kittisham baked plate of rice for Sunday lunch. I mean, we were just up there speaking about the Sunday lunch and how
Plenty.
poisonous it is.
Can't believe something that's so good on Sunday, so unhealthy for us.
I mean, we used to look forward to it.
Sure.
When I was in Jamaica, I used to love the rice and peas,
Ooh la la.
the coconut rice and peas. I love that. Imagine how much calories in one patty, one Jamaican patty. So you have to be careful.
nice.
You have to be careful what you eat. So again, stress on the exercise, stress on the diet. Now, once that does not control the diabetes, then you go to the medication. You're taking the pills. Most people adhere to taking the pills, but when it comes to taking the insulin,
Ain't nobody want to board themselves.
they're against that. They're totally against that. But diabetes have the complication of making you blind, affects the kidney, leg amputation. Many people don't want it to reach there, but once you educate, and as Nurse Wattley said, and I salute the Diabetic Association, education. Once you put in the education and the persons have the knowledge, what can be and how they can prevent it, it's done. But you have to keep stressing it, because I would see one patient, for example, in emergency room. Today they have the sugar. The sugar is high. You treat them, we speak to them. They're back next week. So you just have to keep on it. It's a frustrating job, but you just have to keep on it, because it's our everyday life. We don't want to live in a bubble. We don't want to seclude ourselves from all the fancy and the fancy stuff out there that we're supposed to be enjoying, that everybody else is.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just education. It boils down to education.
And you notice what IBF theme is saying. Education for tomorrow.
Yes.
You educate now, you're saving a life, you're preserving lives, you're preserving person's livelihood, you are helping them to live ordinary lives, productive ordinary lives. You know, the kind of thing, they'll be able to work for themselves, and they would be able to pay their bills. They don't have to wait on handouts from government and those kind of things. They can become independent even with diabetes. Diabetes, if you know that you have diabetes and you get education and you're informed, and you know, you can live a natural, normal life in spite of
Yes.
diabetes.
I keep hearing that word education. And as you referred to the theme, you spoke of tomorrow. Have there been opportunities for you to speak to the younger generation, to go into schools and speak to them, or would you relish those opportunities if you've not had them?
So the St. Kitts Diabetes Association, we recognize that if we could not catch the older ones, the elderly, you know, we're gonna protect the youth.
Yeah.
And so we started a school screening program. We have tested children in every primary school and every high school except those two private schools. We weren't able to get into them.
Okay.
And we have picked up some little borderlines and some children with high blood sugars, and we recognize why. The earliest person to get to school is the tray.
Are you kidding me?
So when the children reach the school, the tray is
there.
at the school.
Yeah, already.
Who can tell the child not to buy the corn curd? So what I did when I was in one of the country centers, no? I told the children, when I go to the school, I speak to the children at the school, everybody, and I said, look, you do not go outside there to buy any corn curd mixed with condensed milk. But nurse, it tastes good. I said, okay, do not go to eat it, to buy it. It's not good for you. But we can drink water. I said, okay, I will deal with it. So I gathered the vendors, because that school had 2 vendors. And I niced them up, because I was born to be a nurse. Niced them up. And I said, I'm going to want to speak to you folks. You know, I said, I know that you doing a business, but I spoke about the children and how they should eat healthy. So you don't want to see your children or grandchildren not able to go to school because they get sick. You know, they're not sick with what? Sugar? I didn't tell them that. So I said, so if I'm going to tell the people not to sell the popcorn or the corn cold with the condensed milk, I have to have an alternative.
Yeah.
So I said, so what if you get some ripe bananas? You don't have to peel it. Cut the ripe banana, and you get some oranges, and you slice orange. I said, you know how much dollars you can make out of 10 oranges and some bananas with 2 grapes? You know? God knows what me that is true. And I realized that it worked, you know, sure. I realized that it worked. There's some communities that take change gradually, some don't take change at all, you know. But I'm not saying they did it the next day, but they started adhering to it, you know. And so we have to educate, inform them, let them know that it works, and go with the right attitude with them. You know, we have some real nice young doctors like Dr. Archibald, you know. He knows just how to deal with it, you know.
Well, apparently you do too. There's a certain sense of niceness, if I had to quote you to say that.
So the St. Kitts Diabetes Association, so what we have done is to go into all the schools, we did screening, and those that we realized were borderline, and some of them were just because of what they eat. And so we share our data with the Ministry of Health, and so that's starting a dialogue there.
Wonderful.
And then changes take place. The school is aware, the Ministry of Health realized, well, the load is going there, we're meeting this particular goal now, so, you know.